The ship doors opened with a soft hiss. All eyes turned. A boy stepped into the academy hallway. He looked strange. 2 arms. 2 legs, no tail, no glowing skin, no wings. Just soft skin, messy hair, and a simple gray uniform. Is that a human? Someone whispered. Another student laughed. He won't last 1 day. His name was Jace. He was the first human ever accepted into Zenthra Combat Academy, an elite alien school where future warriors from across the galaxy trained for battle. No human had ever even visited, let alone studied there. He walked slowly, quietly, eyes scanning the alien walls. Bright green lights lined the ceilings. The air smelled like burning metal and fruit. Large creatures with 3 eyes, armored skin, and floating limbs moved past him, snickering. Jace didn't speak. He just kept walking. That morning was his first class combat gym training. Inside the gym, students stood in rows. Tall, muscular beings of every species. Their arms glowed with power. Some floated inches above the floor. The walls displayed records of past champions. Not a single human face. A voice boomed. "Line up. Instructor Zol is here." Instructor Zol entered, a towering creature with blue skin and 6 arms. He wore a red armor plate and a breathing mask. His eyes scanned the class. Then he saw Jace. "You must be the Earthling," Zol said in a low voice. "Let's see what you can do." The students chuckled. One leaned toward another. He won't survive the first drill. The first exercise was a zero-gravity dash. Each student would float run across the chamber using balance, speed, and strength. "Begin," shouted Zol. Aliens dashed forward like lightning, spinning and flipping in the air. One by one, they reached the end platform with loud cheers. Then it was Jace's turn. He pushed off, slowly, awkwardly. He drifted sideways, trying to grab onto the wall for balance. The class burst into laughter. "Pathetic," muttered a thick-skinned alien named Grail. "That's what Earth calls a fighter?" Jace landed last. He was breathing hard. His muscles ached. But Instructor Zol noticed something. While others wasted energy on wild flips, Jace had tried to control his breath, his heart rate, his movement. He was slow but focused. Zol said. "Nothing." He just marked something on his pad. Later that day, during break, 3 aliens approached Jace at the lunch zone. One of them held a glowing cube. "You hungry, human?" The alien sneered. "Try this. We call it blaster juice. It'll make your soft bones stronger." Jace didn't answer. He picked up a plain meal cube and walked away. They threw the juice at his back. It burned. He didn't flinch. By the 3rd day, students had a nickname for him, Crawl, because he moved so slowly in every test. But Jace didn't care about the nickname. He had one mission: survive, observe, adapt. Every night while others slept, Jace woke up. He sneaked into the gym and practiced alone. He rewatched footage of his failures. He adjusted his posture, controlled his breathing, and learned how alien muscles moved. He wasn't weak. He was learning. And then the prank happened. On day 5, the class had a strength drill, a gravity bench lift. Each student took turns lifting heavy plates under increased gravity pressure. One by one, the strong alien students showed off their power. Cheers filled the room. Then Jace stepped up. As he reached for the metal bar, Grawl grinned and whispered to his friend, "Increase the weight." "Let's hear his bones snap." The machine beeped silently. The weight doubled. Jace grabbed the bar. His hands shook. His arms trembled. The bar didn't move for 3 seconds. Then slowly he lifted it. Not fast, not powerful, but steady. His face was red. Sweat dripped. The machine made a loud pop and shut down. It couldn't handle the balance. Gasps filled the room. "He didn't break," someone whispered. "The machine did." Jace stood up, chest rising and falling. Zol walked up to him. "That was not expected," Zol said. "You may continue." Grawl looked nervous for the first time. The next day, something strange happened. A few students sat near Jace at lunch. They didn't laugh. They didn't mock. They watched. Even stranger instructor Zol called Jace to his private chamber. "You are not what they expected," said Zol, "and you move differently. What are you hiding?" Jace looked him in the eye. "I'm human. That's what I'm hiding." Zol smiled. That afternoon, everything changed. A loud alarm rang in the academy. Emergency training battle. Teen challenge. The teens formed fast. Everyone grouped up. Jace stood alone. No one wants to be with Grawl. Grawl laughed. Zol didn't interfere. "Let's see how this plays out," he whispered to another teacher. The match started. It was chaos, fake gunfire, smoke bombs, and hologram beasts. Screams echoed as students tried to capture flags and survive. Jace hid. Not because he was scared, but because he was calculating. One by one, teams fell apart. Power users wasted energy. Strong aliens charged but missed to targets. Jace moved in. Silence. He used the shadows. He studied alien tactics. He used their own strengths against them. In the final minutes, only 2 students remained, Grawl and Jace. Grawl stormed through the arena, tail whipping, fists burning with plasma. "Come out, coward!" he roared. Jace didn't answer. Then he struck from behind, a controlled sweep kick. Grawl hit the ground hard. The crowd went silent. Jace stood over him. Calm. Instructor Zol ended the match. He spoke one sentence: "Never underestimate slow steps. Some of them break planets." From that day forward, no one laughed at Jace. He wasn't just a student. He was a message. The academy halls were quieter now. When Jace walked by. No one laughed anymore. No one threw things. They watched him instead. Some with curiosity, others with fear. After the combat challenge, his name had spread across the academy. Some called it luck. Some whispered about secret human tech. But everyone agreed on one thing: Jace was not normal. In the gym, Instructor Zol called for silence. "Today we test your reaction time," Zol said. "Battle reflexes are more important than strength." He pointed to the training circle. "Step in." One by one, each student stood on the glowing floor. From the walls, red lasers would fire fast. Students had to dodge without using powers, just natural movement. Grawl stepped in first. He dodged easily, spinning and laughing. "Two." "Slow, Zol," he roared. Another student followed. Then another. All did well. Then Jace stepped in. He didn't bend his knees. He didn't stretch. He just walked forward, quiet and calm. "Begin," Zol said. The first laser fired. Jace moved just enough. A small tilt. A turn of the shoulder. The beam missed him by inches. Another. Then another. He never jumped. Never rolled. Never panicked. Just slow, perfect movements. The class stared in silence. How is he doing that? Someone whispered. Instructor Zol said nothing. But he watched very closely. After the test, Grawl approached him in the hallway. "You think you're smart?" Grawl growled. "You think moving like a snail makes you better than us?" Jace looked at him. "No," he said simply. "I think moving wrong gets you killed." Grawl slammed a fist into the wall next to Jace's head. "You're lucky Zol likes you." Jace walked away without a word. That night, Jace snuck back into the gym again. It was dark, empty, silent. He opened a hidden panel behind a wall locker and pulled out a small metal disc. It was his training module, Earth design, hidden tech. The aliens didn't know about it. He placed it on the floor. A hologram appeared. Earth. Combat trainer, red-eyed, cold voice. "Welcome back, Cadet Jace. Begin human adaptive combat simulation." "Level 7, Jace said. Suddenly, the room lit up. Shadow figures surrounded him. Fast, dangerous, simulated enemies. Each designed to exploit his weaknesses. Jace didn't rush. He moved slow, smooth, and careful. Every step mattered. Every dodge was clean. Every strike was simple and effective. Back on Earth, he had been trained since age 6. Earth's secret program had chosen children with calm minds and fast brains. Not strength control. Not aggression precision. This mission was never just school. It was testing the galaxy. And so far, the galaxy had failed. Suddenly, the door opened. Jace froze. A student stood there, Tariq. A tall alien with yellow skin and glowing eyes. Not a friend, but not an enemy either. I saw your fight with Grawl, Tariq said slowly. Jace stayed silent. I don't like him, Tariq added. But I don't like secrets either. What are you doing here at night? Jace thought for a second. Then he said, training for real war. Tariq stepped closer, eyes narrowing. Do all humans move like you? No, Jace answered. Most are faster. Tariq's eyes widened. Why hide it then? Jace looked up at him. Because no one sees slow movements as power until it's too late. Tariq didn't report him. He walked away without another word. The next day, the academy buzzed with strange news. A new surprise test. Full contact duel, Zol announced. Choose your partner. Grawl walked up to Zol immediately. I want the human, he growled. I want a fair fight. The class gasped. Zol looked at Jace. Jace nodded once. Okay. They stood in the center ring. Crowd around them. Noise. Lights. Tension. Growl cracked his knuckles. This time no hiding. No tricks, just fists. Jace didn't speak. He stood with hands loose, feet planted. Zol raised his hand. Begin. Grawl rushed forward, fast and wild. His fists moved like hammers, slamming down toward Jace's face. Jace moved a half step to the left. Just enough. Grawl missed. Again. Grawl attacked. Again. Jace dodged. He never punched. He never kicked. Just moved. The crowd grew restless. Fight back, someone yelled. He's scared. But then everything changed. Grawl roared and threw a wild elbow. Jace leaned in, ducked under, and placed one palm against Growl's chest. A sudden twist. Grawl flew backward, landing hard on the mat. Silence. Zol raised a hand. Match complete, Grawl groaned, unable to stand. How did you? He whispered. Jace didn't answer. He turned and walked away. That evening, Zol called Jace to his office. You understand force in a different way, Zol said. Understand balance, Jace replied. You're not here to learn, Zol said softly. You're here to study us. Jace looked him in the eye. Maybe. Zol didn't ask more. Instead, he handed Jace a black card. Top floor, midnight. Don't be late. That night, Jace walked to the top floor, normally off limits. He scanned the card. The door opened to a room with old machines. Dusty, forgotten, but familiar. Jace stepped inside. In the center, a broken pod. He wiped off the dust. Earth military logo. And next to it, words burned into the wall. Phase 1, observe. Phase 2, reveal. Jace stepped back, heart pounding. So Earth had been here before, and something had gone wrong. Behind him, Instructor Zol appeared. I thought you'd understand, Zol said. The galaxy thinks humans are weak, but some of us know better. Jace stared at the pod. How long has this been here? Too long, Zol replied. But maybe not too late. The day started like any other at the Zenthra Combat Academy. The sun's pale light filtered through the high windows, casting long shadows across the training grounds. Students gathered for the day's big event, the Strength Challenge. Jace stood quietly at the edge of the field. His body was tense but calm. Today was not just another test. It was a chance to prove something to himself, to the academy, and maybe even to the galaxy. The instructor's voice echoed. Today, You will face the gravity bench lift. The machine will increase weight slowly. Show your strength and endurance. Growl. The biggest and loudest student cracked his knuckles and grinned. Finally, a test for real strength, he said, flexing his arms. Jace said nothing. He studied the machine carefully. It looked complicated, covered in glowing panels and moving parts. The first students went. One by one, they lifted the weight with ease, the machine responding perfectly. Cheers and claps followed each success. When it was Jace's turn, Growl whispered to his friend, "Let's make this interesting. Crank up the weight, just enough to break him." Jace stepped forward. His hands touched the cold metal bar. He felt every vibration. The weight was heavier than usual, but he did not panic. The machine beeped once, then twice. The weights increased rapidly. Jace's muscles strained. His face was tight with effort. He lifted slowly, never rushing. His breath was steady, controlled. Suddenly, a loud snap echoed through the field. The machine shuddered and then stopped working. Hush fell over the crowd. What just happened? Someone gasped. Graal, single quotes, S face twisted in confusion and anger. The machine broke? Impossible. Instructor Zol walked over slowly, inspecting the damaged machine. It did not break under Jace's strength, Zol said quietly. It failed. Under the balance of forces he created. The students whispered, shocked. Graal stepped forward, furious. He's a cheat. Some human trick. Jace shook his head. No tricks, just control. The instructor nodded. Strength is not always raw power. Sometimes it is balance. And sometimes that balance breaks what should never break. The rest of the day, the academy buzzed with rumors. Some said Jace was lucky. Others wondered if he was hiding secret weapons, but no one dared challenge him again. That evening, Zol found Jace in the training room, alone and quiet. "Why do you train so hard?" Zol asked. Jace looked up, tired but determined. "To be ready. Because soon, the school will face a real enemy. And the slow, steady ones will be the last to fall." Zol smiled faintly. "You may be right." Suddenly, alarms blared. The lights flashed red. Emergency drill. A voice announced. Students scrambled. Growl shouted, "Get ready, this is real now." Jace felt his heart race. This was no practice. The academy's hidden doors opened. Alien ships appeared in the sky. Jace looked up. He whispered, "It's time." The arena was packed. Students crowded every seat, eyes burning with excitement. Whispers floated through the air. Growl versus the human. This fight will decide who is strongest. Jace stood silently at one side of the ring. His heart beat. Steadily, calm but ready. This was no longer about proving himself. It was about survival. Growl stepped in, muscles bulging, tail flicking. His voice boomed, "I will crush you, human. Prepare to lose." Jace didn't reply. He simply nodded and readied his stance. Instructor Zol raised his hand. "Begin." The crowd roared as Growl lunged forward, fists blazing with plasma energy. Jace moved slowly, smoothly dodging the first blow by a hair. Growl's attacks were fierce and fast. Punches, kicks, swings. But Jace didn't fight back. He only moved. Step by step, breath by breath, predicting every strike. "Why isn't he fighting?" someone shouted. "Is he scared?" Another asked. Growl growled, "Stand still, coward." Jace stayed calm, his eyes sharp. Then, suddenly, a small smile. Growl swung wildly, overconfident. Jace saw his chance. He stepped forward quickly, faster than anyone expected, and tapped Growl's chest with a firm palm. The force was gentle but precise. Growl stumbled, lost balance, and crashed onto the mat. The arena went silent. Everyone stared. Growl struggled to rise, shocked and angry. How did you do that?" He gasped. JSC, he helped him up. Sometimes power isn't strength. It's control. Instructor Zoll stepped forward and raised his hand. The match is over. Jace wins. The crowd erupted, some with cheers, others with disbelief. Grul's pride was broken, but a new respect grew in his eyes. Later, in the quiet locker room, Grul approached Jace. "You're different," he said gruffly. "Maybe humans are stronger than I thought." Jace nodded. "Strength isn't always what you see." From that day, no one in the academy doubted Jace again. He wasn't just the slow human. He was the fighter who changed everything. The days after the fight were different. The academy halls buzzed with whispers. "Did you see Jace's moves? Humans might be stronger than we thought. Is he hiding something?" Jace walked through the hallways, heads turned. Some stared. Others quickly looked away. He felt eyes on him everywhere. Even the teachers seemed more interested. One afternoon, Instructor Zoll called Jace to his office. Jace entered the room. Zoll sat behind a large desk, eyes sharp. "You surprised everyone," Zoll said. "But do you know why?" Jace shook his head. "It is not just your strength or speed," Zoll explained. "It is how you think, how you move. You don't fight like the others." Jace nodded slowly. "On Earth, we learn to wait, to watch, to listen before acting." Zoll smiled. "Yes, you understand balance. That is rare here." Suddenly, the door opened. Tariq stepped in. "I want to talk to you," he said. Eyes serious, they moved to a quiet corner. "I have questions," Tariq admitted. "How do you know so much about us? About fighting?" Jace looked at him. "I watch. I learn. That is the only way to survive." Tariq frowned. "You think humans can really compete with us?" Jace's eyes burned with quiet strength. "Humans don't just compete. We adapt." The two stood in silence. Then Tariq spoke softly. "Maybe we should train together." Jace nodded, surprised. Word spread fast. Now some students wanted to learn from Jace. Others tried to find his secrets. One night, Jace found a message on his datapad. "Meet me at the secret training room, midnight, alone." Jace's heart pounded. Who was this? He decided to go. At midnight, he slipped through the dark halls. The secret training room was cold and empty. Suddenly, a figure stepped forward. It was Instructor Zoll. "I have something to show you," Zoll said. He opened a hidden panel. Inside was an old hologram. It showed images of humans fighting alongside aliens long ago. Zoll whispered. "Earth was part of this galaxy's history, but it was lost. Now you are here to bring it back." Jace stared at the glowing images. A new purpose filled his heart. He was not just a student. He was a bridge between worlds. The academy had started whispering, but soon they would be listening. The academy was asleep. The halls were dark, lit only by the soft blue glow of wall lights. Jace moved quietly, footsteps silent. He had memorized the path, past the gravity gym, down 2 empty corridors. Then the panel behind the broken storage unit. He placed his hand against it. Click. The wall shifted, revealing a narrow entrance. This was the room he found by accident 2 nights ago. But now he knew it wasn't just a room. It was a secret left behind. A message from Earth. Or maybe a warning. He stepped inside. The air was thick with dust, but the machines still hummed faintly, like they were waiting for him. In the center stood an old training pod. Around it, cracked tiles, faded marks, and a single red symbol on the far wall, the Earth military crest. Jace whispered, "You've been here before." He pressed a button on the pod. It powered up slowly. A soft female voice echoed, "Welcome, human DNA confirmed. Activating simulation protocol, Phantom Series." Suddenly, the room came alive. Holograms surrounded him, training dummies, attackers, wild alien creatures. Everything moved fast. Jace didn't panic. He slipped into motion calm, clean, controlled. Every movement had a purpose. Strike, dodge, step, breathe. The pod watched, recorded, analyzed. Reflexes, 98% improvement since last session, the voice said. Jace smiled. Earth didn't send me here just to study. They sent me to prepare. He trained for hours, pushing past pain, past exhaustion. This place was his real classroom. What he learned here, no alien student knew. Not yet. Suddenly, a noise behind him. He turned fast, ready to strike. It was Tariq. The yellow-skinned student froze, hands raised. I didn't come to fight. Jace lowered his guard. How did you find me? I followed you. I had to know what you are, Jace sighed. I'm human. No, Tariq said. You're something else. He looked around the room, eyes wide. This tech, it's old, it's powerful, but it's not alien. It's from Earth, Jace said. But Earth isn't a threat, Tariq said. That's what we were told. Jace turned back to the pod. That's what they want you to believe. Earth stayed silent. Quiet, watching, waiting. Tariq looked confused. Why? Jace looked at him. Because the galaxy doesn't fear weak enemies. It fears silent ones. For a long moment, Tariq didn't speak. Then he stepped closer. Teach me, Jace blinked. What? Train me the way you train. I want to learn what you know. Why? Jace asked, suspicious. Because I don't want to be just strong, Tariq said. I want to be ready, like you. Jace nodded slowly. The next night, they trained together. Tariq struggled at first. He was fast but undisciplined. Strong but wild. Jace showed him how to move slower, sharper, with purpose. Don't waste energy, Jace said. Use only what you need. Tariq grinned. That sounds boring. But it works, Jace replied. After weeks of training in secret, they began to move like one. Their reflex tests broke academy records. Zol noticed. He called Jace into his office again. You and Tariq are different now, Zol said. You're becoming something new. Jace didn't deny it. Zol leaned forward. Soon, there will be a test, not just in the academy. Something bigger, something coming. Jace narrowed his eyes. What kind of test? Zol didn't answer. You'll know when it arrives. That night, Jace returned to the secret room. He activated a deeper system on the training pod. A message appeared. Project Silent Blade. Phase 2. Activate the sleeper. Jace stared at the screen. He whispered, There's another one. Another human? Another secret? The training room held more than knowledge. It held a key to something Earth had hidden, something that could shake the galaxy. The announcement came without warning. All students report to Arena Sector 9. Elite survival test begins now. The academy fell silent. Even the toughest students looked nervous. This was the test that separated students from legends. A test so dangerous some never returned. No powers, no weapons, no teams, just you. Against the wild. Jace stood in line as a large ship landed on the pad. It would drop them into the survival zone, a giant, shifting wilderness filled with traps, drones, and wild alien beasts. Instructor Zol stood before them. This is the final test, he said. It will last 72 hours. There's only one rule: survive. Grawl stepped forward, cracking his neck. I'll make it. Alone, Tariq muttered beside Jace. No one survives alone. Jace said nothing. He was thinking, why this test? Now, why with no warning? The students were loaded into the ship. As it took off, the sky turned red. Storms circled in the distance. Inside, a voice counted down. Drop in 3, 2, 1. The floor beneath them opened. One by one, they fell into the zone. Jace landed hard in thick jungle mud. He rolled and got up fast, heart pounding. The forest was dark. Trees moved slowly like they were alive. The wind howled through twisted rocks. He moved quickly but quietly, no talking. No resting. His instincts were sharp, not trained for this. Climbed a ridge and scanned the horizon. Far away, he saw a group of students already fighting each other. Mistake. Too soon for battles, he thought. They'll tire fast. He moved in the opposite direction, deeper into the forest. Hours passed. He didn't fight. He didn't show off. He only listened. And learned. By nightfall, he had found shelter under a broken transport wreck. He used old cables to make a trap nearby. As he ate his ration cube, a voice whispered behind him, "You're alone." Jace didn't move. It was Tariq. "How did you find me?" Jace asked. "I followed your footprints," Tariq said. "Then I saw the trap." "You shouldn't be here," Jace said. "We both know this isn't a normal test," Tariq whispered. Jace nodded slowly. Something felt wrong. Too many drones. Too many dangerous creatures already released. The test was escalating faster than ever before. Suddenly, the trees shook. They looked up and froze. A massive shadow moved between the trees, 10 feet tall, metal arms, glowing red eyes, a combat mech, Jace hissed. "That's not part of the test." The machine turned toward them and charged. Jace and Tariq ran, dodging between rocks. The mech fired shock pulses, blasting trees apart. They jumped into a ravine. Jace pulled Tariq behind a rock. "This isn't a test anymore," he said. "Then what is it?" Tariq asked, out of breath. "A trap," Jace replied. "Someone wants to see what humans can really do." They waited until the mech moved on, then crawled out and continued through the forest. By the second night, only a few students were still active. Jace heard the announcements. Student 07 eliminated. Student 14 eliminated. Student 21, critical condition. He realized they weren't just being tracked. They were being hunted. "This isn't survival," he said. "It's war practice." "But why now?" Tariq asked. Jace's eyes narrowed. "Because someone knows Earth is preparing, and they want to see if one human can survive the worst." That night, they reached a clearing filled with ruins, old alien tech, broken machines, and scorched metal. Jace felt a chill. He knew this place. He walked to the center and touched a large stone covered in strange writing. It lit up under his hand. A hidden door opened. Inside a secret Earth base. "Impossible," Tariq said. "What is this?" Jace stepped in. The lights flickered on. A human voice spoke from the walls. "Welcome, Cadet Jace. Emergency protocol. Activate sleeper defense." Tariq backed away. "You knew this was here?" "No," Jace said, "but Earth did. They hid this years ago." From behind a sealed wall, a cryopod hissed open. A girl stepped out. Young, pale, human. She opened her eyes slowly. Jace stared. Another sleeper agent like him. She looked at him and whispered, "What year is it?" "Year 3081, he replied. Then, "It's time," she said. Jace turned to Tariq. "Now do you understand?" Tariq nodded. "This was never a test." Jace looked out at the forest, red lights moving in the trees. "No," he said. "It was the beginning." The room inside the hidden base was cold, silent, and glowing with old Earth tech. Jace stood near the sleeping pod, watching the girl adjust to the light. She moved slowly, like someone waking from a deep forgotten dream. "My name is Lyra," she said, voice weak but steady. "They trained me in silence. Buried me here in case things got bad." Tariq looked between them. "You're not just students, are you?" Jace didn't answer right away. He looked at the wall's symbols of old Earth Command, messages meant for those who were never supposed to be found. "I was placed in the academy to learn, to watch, to test their systems," Jace finally said. "But now I see. It was more than that. What do you mean? Tariq asked. Jace turned. I'm not here just to survive. I'm here to deliver a message. Earth is back. Outside the forest shook. Sirens echoed in the trees. The drone army had found them. Lyra walked to the control panel and pressed her hand against it. The base trembled. Old systems powered up. Weapons unlocked. A hidden platform opened from the ground, revealing an ancient suit, black, silver, and marked with Earth's forgotten flag. Jay stared at it. He'd seen it in dreams, visions, memories not his own. Put it on, Lyra said. You were trained for this moment. I thought I was just a student, Jace whispered. Lyra smiled. You were. But you were also the message they never expected. Jace stepped into the suit. It wrapped around him like it remembered him. Data flooded his mind, battle plans, coordinates, faces of long-dead heroes. Tariq took a step back. What are you? Jace's eyes glowed softly. I'm the last warning. Suddenly, the base shook. A giant drill machine broke through the surface, and armed aliens poured in. Their leader, tall and armored in dark red, stepped forward. His voice echoed in the chamber. So this is where you hide, he growled. Earth's broken tools. Buried in old ruins, Jace stepped forward. We were never broken, just waiting, the alien sneered. Do you think one message can stop an empire? Jace raised his hand. The base responded. Defense turrets popped from the ceiling. Energy shields lit up. The Earth tech, silent for centuries, was alive again. No, Jace said, but it can wake a sleeping planet. Lyra joined him, activating a beacon. A signal burst into space fast, loud and clear. Tariq stared in disbelief. You're calling Earth? Jace nodded. We were never supposed to fight alone. The aliens opened fire. Jace and Lyra moved like lightning, side by side. The training, the pain, the mystery, it all made sense now. Jace wasn't the experiment. He was the spark. The base shook under battle. Aliens fell. Drones exploded. But the message had already been sent. High above, far beyond the sky, a fleet woke up. Ships buried in silence for decades turned their eyes toward the Academy planet. Back in the base, the alien leader fell, defeated. Jace stood over him. Tell your empire, he said quietly. Earth remembers. Tariq looked at him, shaken. You were never really one of us. Were you? Jace turned to him. I was, but I was also something more. And now? Tariq asked. Jace looked up. Bright lights flashed in the sky. Dozens of massive ships entered orbit, forming Earth's forgotten flag in the clouds. Now, Jace said, they'll all remember.